Welcome back to another Dangarompa lapse video. As I said last time, we're going to be doing the trial. We are probably going to be doing the full trial. Without further ado, I take it you all know why you're here. Jeez, you're all being quiet bunch, aren't you? You're all here to sue out with whodunit. In other words, you're all on trial to figure out who did the culprit of today's hideous crime is. Did you think you could just get away with murder and win the prize? Nah, it's not that simple. The rules are as followed. Discuss, discover, determine who's the culprit among your group. A majority vote will seal the individual's fate. And we'll just see what happens from there, yeah? Few outcomes will occur. Determine the vote incorrectly, and the entire class is executed, with the culprit being able to walk free with the ultimate prize. That's the ideal endgame for the culprit. Determine the vote culprit correctly, and they will receive proper retribution and perish at the hand of your group's decision. Phew, you might have just lived to see another day. Our victim is Pandora Espray, the ultimate baker. A sweet young lady who could do nothing wrong. Or could she? Well, people could surprise you. So, with that out of the way, get to talking. Who are you? How do I do Scottish accent? Who are you What? You're still asking that even though I already introduced myself all nice? Should have bigger concerns than that. Talk about the murder. I can't believe who did it isn't your priority topic right now. Huh? No one wants to talk? Need I remind you your lives are on the line. None of you start talking. You'll default to having lose a trial and will be executed. You don't want that, do you? Executed? What does that mean? The definition of execute, to carry out a sentence of death, it's quite simple. Did he really just give us the fucking definition? I need to stop swearing. On one hand, it makes my job easier. I don't have to listen to bad deductions. On the other hand, I'd be terribly bored if this didn't go past the first chapter. Everyone, please, we need to discuss who could have possibly done the unthinkable. As terrific or even irrelevant as something might be, if you have any concerns about this case, speak now. It's scary. Say, are you okay? Say, please don't push yourself. Yes, thank you. If he wants to talk, I'll talk. I'll talk about how scared I am. I just want to go home. I can't get used to anything around here. I don't know any of you people, and someone gets killed. Say, I understand it's difficult, but discussing our friend's death is necessary to ensure we don't find a similar fate ourselves. At the very least, can you try to remember our last few moments with her? That Zero is right. We don't want to go down without a fight, right? Why don't we begin with Pandora's last known whereabouts? The silence in the room was oppressing. Trial to defend ourselves. Why did I need to defend myself if I know for a fact that I would never kill her? Regardless, no one knew where to start. Well then, I shall begin. Last I saw her, we were sharing our quiet breakfast. I came back that a group composed of Art, Echo, Missy, Pandora, and myself in the dining hall about 7:40 a.m. to 10 a.m. After that, we all kind of went our own ways. I went around the mansion with Echo to talk to others about who weren't at breakfast. Who did we see again, Echo? Art doesn't recall the people we visited for breakfast. Let's see. We met with... No, we didn't meet with Missy. We met with Say, Cannon, Forte, and Lyle. Oh, yeah! Those people were Say, Cannon, Forte, and Lyle. We asked them about their talent. That's right. But when we were toughing the mansion, we met with those four, no one else. The only ones who didn't see after our breakfast were Pandora and Ashley. I mean, we met with Pandora when we were talking to Cannon, but she didn't stick around long. She said she had to go somewhere to let be and left go who knows where. So there's a period of time which no one saw Pandora last, is that correct? That window is apparently being somewhere between 10 a.m. to approximately 4 p.m. Can anyone provide their whereabouts from the approximate time frame? I was alone in the study for a good portion of the afternoon. I went to the theater at around 2:30 p.m. Oh, you must have just left before I went in. I went to the study at 3 p.m. I spent my time in my personal room. I wasn't at a place. I was investigating the mansion until 3. That is, I met up with Art for a little bit, and we eventually landed at the jazz club right before 4. I was wrangling myself with the amnesia from the theater for much of the afternoon. I was in my room too. After I had a meal with Art and Echo, I went back and didn't leave at all. I was in the auditorium for a while. It looks like no one has a particularly strong alibi except Art and Echo, who can vouch for each other until 3 p.m. What does that mean? It means that since many of us were acting on our own for an extended period of time, our whereabouts could be heavily doubted. Anyone could have lied about their activity and instead set up some sort of trap to get rid of Pandora, so no one saw each other. So we're all suspicious? It's difficult to narrow down who potentially suspicious of these claims alone. Let's calm down and think through. Oh, why did the topic of Pandora force motive question? The question, along with the motivation music, was provided to push up to crimes. We ought to figure out who the question would have caused such distress. Force motive question. A small group of us talked about it briefly in the morning over breakfast, but ultimately we couldn't figure out the purpose of the question. Why don't we discuss that purpose now of everyone who's presented? The purpose of the force motive question. Question. Are your talents representative of who you are beyond your talent? What could it mean? I should pay attention to statements that sound interesting. A killing to provoke killing is nonsense. Makes no sense. This morning we speculated that... I am inclined to agree with that conclusion. It only makes sense after all. But it was so possible that a tactic used to instill distrust and cause discord. The purpose of the force motive question. The question, are your talents represented who you are behind your talent? What could it mean? I should pay attention to the statements. That might sound interesting. A question to provoke killing makes no sense. How could a simple question make us do something extreme and end someone's life? The mystery speculated that sharing behind our talents would only create a greater bond between us. Greater bond? Echo, I believe you led the discussion this morning. You were well versed in what everyone do. That's right. We all share thoughts and nothing said anyone strange. Oh, okay, I guess I got it wrong. So that means it was Ashley. What do you mean by distrust, Ash? Let's say someone didn't want to talk about their talents, despite the talent being something that's highly laud. If someone wouldn't want to talk to such an amusing topic, their resonance should be suspicious, right? But just because someone's talent is public knowledge doesn't mean it necessarily means that individual in life's and practice behind it should be public as well. Ash, you kept your talent unknown to me for whatever reason. Are you saying that you wanted me to believe you're suspicious? Of course not. How could you even say that? Did you ask them about the force motive question and not get an answer? No, just didn't want to bother anyone with such a potentially loaded question. Is my talent true representation of who I am? I never thought about my talent as a reputation of me. It was simply a hobby that spiraled into something incredible. I never would have thought racing would lead me to end up in such a strange mess. Sorry to press you hard, Ash. Bart asked me if I knew anything about your talent, and I couldn't properly answer him. That said, I think this conversation eventually proved your point, that it could cause discord. There's connection between us. That's alright. I'm sorry if I kept the secret hurt you, Echo. I didn't mean to tie you up in such complications. It's not so complicated. You're my friend. If anything hurts, the fact that I burned you with this topic. Well, that's the purpose of a discussion, isn't it? To bring ideas and theories to light. And I don't know, I just formed an example question causing such a trouble. Oh, wasn't that something? Best friends, reconnection, their differences for the sake of proving a point. I suppose every discussion has to start somewhere. Okay, as you were. Right, thank you. In that case, what question was meant to make us look like ultimate student talents just ends justice the means, correct? A mean justice fries served with what? The end justifies mean as a saying in which result so deemed important that any method, morally good or bad, will be used to achieve it. In this case, what Echo is simply regarding is how someone achieved their advanced talent or what the person is like behind meaningless is the grand scheme of having an ultimate title. After all, didn't we sign the preservation project knowing full well that we were needed to bear an ultimate title? An ultimate title, a preciously valuable title that someone receives for super excellent in their field of expertise. So, but what does that possibly have to do with Pandora getting killed? There's no way any of us, like, jealous of her talent or something, was there? We were all strangers before meeting in this scary place anyways. I fully want to believe that we all get along with her. We all got along with each other. In fact, without the killing pressure, I don't see how anyone could possibly harbor any ill will. Someone's gotta get her. What? What? I'm bored. You aren't talking about anything interesting, so I thought I'd bone to get the ball rolling a little faster. No, not a single person is beloved by everyone. It's just not possible. How could you say that? She did nothing wrong but show kindness and warmth towards everyone. Pandora only wanted to share good food with everyone, with good friends. Yeah, she always worked tirelessly to bring us together with her delicates. Blah! Good show, everyone. You're all such great actors. It's been fun watching, but the discussion isn't really going anywhere. I'll just put enough into this right now. This case, trial, it's an all elaborate ARG scheme. Lyle, it's all an act. The reason why there's so few accused, it's just a way to save resources. Imagine the folks setting up this game had to use a bunch of fake blood to create the scene. Though, I suppose for the sake of entertainment, such systems exist to waste resources. Lyle, what are you talking about? Pandora isn't dead. She can't be. Nothing adds up. But I suppose if you want me to keep playing, I'll say this. Let's think about who was on the scene first. If I recall correctly, that was Echo, wasn't it? Yeah, I saw Pandora's body first, then I called out for help, which made Cyrus and Cannon arrive shortly after. Okay, easy. The culprit's one of you three. What? On the ground, do you think... On the ground, what do you think? Could have speculated that. Pandora supposed the time of death wasn't 4 or 5, right? I'll let the scene. We were just minding our own business in the mansion, not knowing what to come. Soon, some nasty music started playing. One of you three started expressing serials. Either person first. How else could you have narrowed down the culprit? It must be someone who was near the scene after 4 p.m., and that person couldn't have gotten far after escaping the crime scene. In my opinion, a motivation to kill a lost stress from music is kind of shoddy writing, or at least there was an attempt. Lyle keeps going on about the killing game being an ARG, but her death seems so real. Wait, what does that mean? Everyone's alibis earlier don't amount to anything? Bingo! I believe you all distressed your whereabouts at approximately 3 p.m. latest. No one said anything from 4 p.m. where the music started. The critical moment is to consider is the time just before the murder occurred, obviously. Someone offered Pandora via acute strangulation and made their getaway to not like the culprit could have gotten far and then when Echo supposedly discovered the body. So with the window of action narrowed down to between 4 and 4:05, does anyone can share this newly updated whereabout? We were all in the approximate time around 4 p.m. leading up. If I follow through with late speculation, we might glean some information that will help us. After hanging out with Lyle, I went to the auditorium. The music was blasting in there. Missy joined me in the theater after the music started. I thought Forte and I could go to the backstage and control the sound system, but our attempts were futile. I was in my room still hiding under the covers. I told you I was in the foyer leading up to my music. It was noisy, sure, but nothing I couldn't deal with. I was in the jazz club. Told Echo earlier as well. I was at the climbing center and no one saw suspicious dart past the open door. Like say was, I was in my room too. On the leading up. Hang on. I want to look at the map real quick. I can't look at the map. I can't look at the map. Did you run into the auditorium when the music started playing? No, I was already around that area after hanging out with Lyle. Why would I go to a giant room that echoes to avoid horrible music? Missy joined me in the theater after the music started. I was in my room still hiding under the covers. I told you I was in the foyer leading up to the music. It was noisy, sure, but nothing I couldn't deal with. I was in the jazz club. Wait a minute, Lyle. I know for a fact that the jazz club is soundproof. That's right. When I sent to play the cello yesterday, wasn't that like episode 1? You and Cyrus were just outside the jazz club hallway. Neither of you seemed any reaction when we came out shortly after. It means possible that Lyle is exempt from hearing the motivational music. Does it? I suppose you're on some. I admit, I don't know where I didn't even know where the motivational music sounds like, but nothing that's awfully for this system you put yourself in, Lyle. Sure is odd, but what stranger feels how Lyle did know about the motivational music if he had never heard it? The coinks. Remember, translate sound to text. This time I only saw a message. Said something, preserving the atmosphere of the room. Hero? What's up? You're the judge of this trial, but you are also the announcement operating inside these walls. I assume you can assist us with something clinical like this? Can you tell us what the Ink's message said in specific? Your current room is a special room that blocks all outside sounds to preserve the atmosphere of this room. Please enjoy it to your heart's content. I don't want to write that, by the way. So you're saying we could have avoided the noise entirely? Isn't that too convenient? Well, wait a minute. In that case, what if Lyle's the one who killed Pandora? What? Didn't I just say I was in the music? That would have provoked to kill her? I was in the jazz club. I didn't hear the music. Therefore, I could have motivation to move. No, you killed her in the jazz club, then moved her body to the spa lounge. That would explain the lack of clues in the spa lounge. There is troublesome. Did any of us investigate the jazz club afterwards? No, I was shocked seeing the body and didn't even think about looking elsewhere. I think we were all just astonished as soon as we heard the body discovery chime. So perhaps Lyle counted on the fact that he did in fact kill her during the jazz club. He doesn't have an alibi for a large portion of the afternoon anyways. Saying something like, source the mansion for clues. He could have spent the whole day unsupervised plotting the terrible thing that ended Pandora's life. Hey, haven't you heard that the phrase extraordinary claims required extraordinary evidence? Well, that's not out of the question after all. The ultimate puzzle master could have set something up so to answer this murder puzzle goes over our heads. This can't be possible. I was in the climbing center, which is between Small Lounge and the Jazz Club. Lau committed the crime to Jazz Line. I would painlessly witness the change of scene. Very well, you could have constructed that alibi to assist Lila in this dark activity. Now, on what earth would I do such a thing? Settle down! Yelling at each other is hypothetical. Well, it isn't getting us anywhere. Agreed. If it is Quell saying, hey, worries, let's tackle the initial theory and go from there. Say and Forte are wrapped up in the possible discussion of Lyle. I personally don't think so. Say Forte, please calm down. There's no way Lyle could have killed and moved her body. What? That's because someone would have seen him do that. Yes, I would have seen Lyle move the body if that were the case. But remember, I left the climbing center. Doors open. The climbing center is located between the Spa Lounge and the Jazz Club. By recording the time of the killing, the music would have complete, I would no longer be climbing with him distracting me. Alright, perhaps I'll accept your admission as truth. Seeing as the plausible Lalo moving the body is unfolded, where do we start now? Oh my stars, you all are so bad at this. What? Tell you for certain that nothing happened in the Jazz Club. Huh? And I'm telling you this because you're just off what this whole trial thing. Geez, I guess this is happens when there's no ultimate detective around, huh? As your ultimate photographer is so quiet, she'd all but drop dead at this point. If she dropped dead, y'all go through another trial. I don't think I have the patience to watch you guys run in circles at this rate. Wyatt, I guess. Sorry, I thought I got a message on my phone. Alright, alright, since this is clearly going nowhere, allow me to throw you a bone. There's something strange about that note in the small pool, don't you think? Lyle seemed very conveniently managed to receive the concentration from the piece of evidence on the scene. I'll let y'all think for yourself. The note. That note must have something to do with Pandora's murder, but what? I'm certain Art and Lyle know something about it, since Lyle brought it up with us, but... Hello? What's with the dead air? Don't want to talk anymore? You don't want everyone to die without giving the trial the best shot, do you? Like, any of you are even trying to save yourselves. Maybe I should stop giving you these opportunities. The courtroom felt silent. It seemed like we were all neglected of the gravity of the situation, or rather we were avoiding it. It's just nothing felt real. Pandora's death, her body hardly showed any signs of injury. It was like she was asleep. It was as if she wanted to forget the reality of the topic at hand, which was that someone had killed our friend. We kept dodging and darting around the main issue here. Yes, as painful as it is, we must discuss the murder. My throat is getting tired. It may seem hopeless at this point. We don't have much information to work with, but clues will reveal themselves after bringing certain topics to light. So, don't hold your tongue. We must do this to save ourselves. Then, I'll start with her cause of death. From there, it's probably easier to reason out potential culprits. According to the Monokuma file, it was strangulation. Can we identify what she was strangled with? We ought to touch upon the possibilities. It may be difficult to think about, but no one said such a fight would be easy. Just what Pandora struggled with. Is there something we're missing? I was thinking it could have been a rope from the climbing center. It's horrifying to think about, but perhaps the culprit used their own hands. Let us narrow down our thoughts and eliminate things that would be most unlikely. We ought to think about what happened the spa lounge could be used. I personally think it was this. Can't bear the thought of someone using their own bare hand to do this. It's too cruel. Wait, Missy. If you think about it though, someone was grasping so tight, don't you think there would be a fingernail mark and I yield that you could be right. There weren't such... Honey, I won't easily forget something that's violent as nails dug into the skin. That helps clarify the possibility. I suppose I'm relieved to hear that. Looking back, I'm using memory for this. I don't think it was a robe. So let's try that. Okay. What in the spa lounge could be used? Consider the following. Climbing center and jazz club were occupied by one person. Neither of the occupations saw anyone during their stay. And the killing occurred somewhere after the 4 p.m. music, so it's likely the culprit used whatever they had on their available location. What if anything could be used? Think. What was the murder weapon? Was it our own hair? Could it be... Echo, are you onto something? I think so. You brought up a good line. Thought made me rethink the scenario. If I recall seeing something that might answer the question. Discussion in progress. I believe the culprit could have used a towel to strangle her. It's an unassuming object, isn't it? Of course, there are going to be towels in the spa lounge, so the culprit could have taken a location and utilized the towels available. The tool being the very towel she rested her head on. Then they must have strangled her by wrapping the towel around her neck, pulling it until she stopped struggling. Until she stopped struggling or not breathing altogether. It would explain the lack of the fingernail dug in the skin as well, why I didn't see anyone near the climbing center in the event rope was being used. Might be a but the best thing we have gotten so far. But there's something that's been bothering me. If I may, what I don't get is, why was Pandora seeming so relaxed and spa? She was reclined back there and there wasn't any signs of a struggle in the whole room. There must have been obnoxious music playing the spa too, so I doubt she would have stayed. That's strange indeed. I certainly couldn't concentrate on the climbing grips once it started. That music was so annoying, I didn't even know it was playing until I was outside. Most importantly, Echo, did you bonk your head on something? Spa lounge soundproof. Huh? I guess it does make sense since I threw the door open upon entering. Hang on, what? Lounge soundproof? Whoops! Was that alcohol knowledge? Hold it, explain yourself. Does that have relevance to this trial? Spa lounge soundproof. And the motivational music was playing through the rest of the mansion. Whoever was in the spa lounge with Pandora must have not been aware of the music. Zero, I noticed you in your noise message you didn't specify which room is soundproof. It was simply your current room is a special room, is that correct? I said I didn't write that. But yes, I guess it did say that, didn't we? Fine, yes. All second floor rooms are soundproof. Happy? All second floor rooms. In that case, wouldn't Pandora have been completely relaxed and unaware that the music was playing starting at 4 p.m.? Wait, that's right. Well, not the auditorium, but it's more of a giant hall than a room. No closed doors or anything, you know. I wasn't aware I left the climbing center door open in my stay. It's not just the jazz club. We probably assumed the jazz club alone was soundproof because people perform in there. Now it's been revealed that Pandora was willingly in the spa lounge, relaxing, completely unaware of the music presumably far before it started playing in the place. Then she wouldn't even be undisturbed by it due to the soundproof quality of the spa lounge. Just a minute! That means the motivational music had nothing to do with provoking someone to kill her? What? Echo. You must have an idea of what provoked that person, not you. You've had this look on your face since the afternoon. It's a note, isn't it? You've seen it before. In fact, you saw it before I brought it up with you and Art. Finally talking about the note! Yes, I've seen it before. Pandora herself showed it to me last night. Pandora? How did she see it? Lyle said it was the announcement special gift this morning. I lied about that. There was no special gift. Someone dead showed up. I was gonna call them a chump. Call them a chump personally. I'm actually also perplexed as where that came from. Although I shouldn't complain, that note made things very interesting. So, wait, let me get this straight. I know that was probably the motivation to commit this murder. Shouldn't have even been there in the first place. What is this note you are talking about? Remember the scrap paper we saw at the spa pool? Yes, it was soaked beyond legibility. That note we're talking about, merely a note to be kept in secrecy. I remember, it said, if you recognize one of the symbols depicted, then you have found me and are safe. Please do not speak of this note existence. Trust no one but yourself. 2 emblems on it. The note reference, and I saw one of those emblems on that shed of wet paper at the spa lounge. Pandora is presently a dangerously suspicious thing. The culprit must have saw it and had the note on in the pool to destroy it. They were probably afraid of rambling to protect of what effect it could have had on the rest of the killing game. It's probably thought of who possessed and the note must be linked to the game itself. That would explain why the culprit was one of the few who knew of the note's existence. That's right. She reacted to Zero first mentioned it. Say? You reacted when Zero mentioned the note earlier. Have you seen... why am I speaking in Say's voice? Have you seen that note before? I have never seen it. I see. But how could that be? Lyle said Say go into the pantry and then left after he saw the note. For the trial, the ones who only seen that note were Say, Lyle, Echo, and me, right? The auditorium was a special gift with a lie. The secret being the pantry earlier this afternoon. I imagine that Pandora herself must have left it there, seeing as she was utilizing ingredients from the pantry to make breakfast this morning. She just left it there? Then why is there a similar note in the small pool? She couldn't have left it out of possession. It's personally a note to be kept in secrecy. Wait a minute. There are 2 notes? But we still don't know where these notes came from in the first place. My voice is tired. None of those random details are making any sense. I'm also having a hard time sorting out relative information. Indeed, it's becoming a bit difficult to define what is the truth. What happened why are things that they are? Can't we try to lay down a timeline of events? That could clear our hands and straighten things out, if anything. Timeline of events. Yes, I think that could help. I noticed a handful of entries that look like clearing up. Perhaps I ought to take the events back to the last night where Pandora showed me the secret note. The note seemed to be the biggest compilation. Pandora pulled me aside, showed me the secret note at 9? No, the light started to dim during the conversation. p.m. That's it. Yes, it was 10 p.m. Remember, the light started to dim during our conversation, indicating that it was started nighttime. Following morning, which was earlier, we can assume Pandora must have been up earlier, and everyone begging for breakfast. Small group of us had breakfast, which rang at... That's right. Force motive question announcement rang at 9 a.m. He briefly touched the topic, but ultimately didn't feel our motivation to undo any sort of killing, like in the announcement. Afterwards, I had planned to go back to my room, but Art stopped me, and we went around asking where the students about were. We were occupied that till I think around 3? Yes, that's it. Before 3, Art and I ran into Lyle as he was going to his room. We talked to him a bit about the questioning, but he had little to say of the matter. During our conversation, he brought our attention to the secret note. The same the secret night before. Lyle came, note left the pantry. Lyle claimed that she saw Sick laying on the second floor auditorium pantry back out again. Lyle disarmed Art and Lyle went off on their own. I went to study at 3 p.m. While I was in the study, the announcement rang and started playing some sort of jamming. The motivational music began at 4 p.m. That's right. I recalled the announcement saying at the time, I ran out to the study in panic trying to find the other students. From the auditorium, I saw a shadowy figure at the top of the stairs. I followed them, but lost track, which led me to discover Pandora's body. If only I was able to keep up with the shadowy figure, perhaps we would have been over sooner. But so strange, it couldn't seem to add anything up despite how much we knew. Or rather, perhaps there was some other unseen force factor that's contributing to Pandora getting killed. There had to be something. Something's missing. I felt uneasy anticipation tugging at me. Something willing to do. Wait a second. Wait a second. I just realized something. Oh no. Okay. I don't know fully, but I think. Oh. I don't know. I'm gonna continue though. I had to try. Covering the truth was more difficult than I thought. Pandora would tell me not to give up. Though the scenery kept. The note is revealed since it was. Perhaps I ought to think backwards from Pandora's death to see if there's any holes. Pandora was killed in the spa lounge. Yes, there were any signs of her body moving. Before she was killed, where was Pandora's speculating state? It was relaxed. She was relaxed, right. We were able to assume she was relaxed spa lounge because it is soundproof. We learned that the spa lounge was soundproof qualities. If Pandora was there, the door would close. She wouldn't have been disturbed. Wait a minute. When I first entered the spa lounge, I initially was under the impression that there was music playing within. Little did I know it was only playing because I had open door running. However, someone noted that they were unaware of the music. This person could have left the room. Only 2 remaining soundproof qualities. Why was Pandora seeming so relaxed at the spa lounge? She was trying to see there weren't signs of a struggle. There must have been obnoxious music playing the spa too, so I doubt she would have stayed. That's strange indeed. I certainly could not comprehend the only climb grip started. That music was so annoying, I didn't even know it was playing until I was outside. No! No! Oh my. I know who the culprit is. No! No! Why? You are such a good character, Art! No! Spa Lounge soundproof, there it is. By making a remarkable change between locations, the culprit could only been in the Spa Lounge before the motivational music. By that logic, the culprit must have shared the room with the victim. Art must have been in the Spa Lounge with Pandora before she died. Everyone? I think I have the full picture. What was with you? You were totally spaced out for a sec. Be quiet. Be quiet, you. Oh, yes, ma'am! Echo, is there something we're missing? Yeah, I think something might have slipped right under us. We've been looking under the guises of the motivational music, had everything to do with the motive. However, I'm thinking Pandora was never exposed to it, and yet she wound up the victims of its efforts. As we discussed, all second floor rooms are soundproof. Outside noise, doors are closed. Case in point, Cyrus leaving the climbing center open and allow undisturbed in the jazz club. But I noticed something very strange. There weren't mentions anywhere of the music either. That is until the extremely soundproof room. Neither Cyrus or Lyle ever encountered anyone during their stay. So by process of elimination, the only person that could have been in the room is Spa Lounge. I don't know if anyone else picked up on it. I think I know who the culprit is. Art. Art. Did you kill Pandora? Art? What? Hang on. That can't be. Please yield. Echo, this thought of yours, it's awfully bold to prove finger at something so conclusively. Well, it's only a shred of an idea, but the picture fits. If we place the timeline together from where Art and I separated at 3 p.m., not unreasonable to assume that the crime had convicted during a smaller window after Art Lyle separated and before the motivational music. It's been stated several times that Lyle was by himself in the jazz club, so given the circumstances, what? You're all just going to listen to that tiny, impossible statement? Art, say something. Don't let him tell you what it's nonsense. What? In fact, he was with me in the jazz club until 4 p.m. Yeah, that's right. Lyle, you must know that we are beyond vial of smoke and mirrors at this point. What are you implying? It's too far late for you to defend him. If you two were together, it would have been mentioned ages ago. That showed up. I saw you at the top stairs. Must have been Art fleeing from the spa lounge towards the auditorium. He must have not known that there was distressed music playing outside the spa, otherwise he would have let slip that he noticed a shift in music when leaving the spa after. Grrr. Lyle, please think about the events in your head. As much as I hate to admit it, there's only one answer I could possibly think of. Even though this is all speculation, I want nothing more to believe that this is only an illusion we have here. Art, we're your friends, aren't we? Please, if you're wrong, just let us know. If this is untrue, we can put it back behind us. Echo, do you remember what I told you when you first asked me about the forced motive question? Yeah. I recall you saying you liked playing golf, but you haven't expanded any interest outside golfing. Yeah, it's because they would never let me. It was a terrible existence, being the ultimate golfer for them. All day I stand around the sun listening to the jerk pitch false interests and crummy business ideas to each other. I'm not playing golf. I'm just there to look good while the suits are playing corporate deduction and back scratching. They made me hate golf. So that motive question made me think more of what I was doing. I wasn't having fun anymore, you know. Even though I'm great at it, I'm the ultimate golfer. Even if that's the case, I didn't feel like me anymore. It's weird. I've had more fun here hanging out with everyone, not indulging my talent. Even though it landed on me to be here in the first place. I kept thinking about that. I kept thinking about the FMQ and about how they blessed me with the opportunity to hang out with all you fun people. Before I knew it, I wandered to Spa Lounge, some peace and quiet. I thought no one was there, but Pandora was there, quiet as a mouse. I didn't even notice her until I sat next to her. She was so nice.
Good afternoon, Art. Care to join me?
Yeah, sure thing.
Are you alright? I didn't scare you, did I?
Oh, no, I just didn't notice you when I came in, you know. Then somewhere else
I see. Art, may I ask something?
What's up?
I believe I heard about you influencing a merger between you and your Lyle's schools. Am I correct?
Yeah, that was a while ago.
That was such an amazing accomplishment. I only wish I was to achieve something half as great as that.
Oh, it's nothing. I hardly remember it.
If you insist, it's nothing to sneeze at either. I'm sure the students of both schools have been breathlessly grateful from the feat.
Yeah, probably, but I wouldn't know. I only went to school for a year before I was pulled out to focus on golfing. I had a private tutor cover the differences.
Oh, that's quite a generous offer. Maybe you can use your talent's position to help more people.
I don't know if it's that big of a deal.
I have faith in you, Art. In fact, I believe all of your ability to change opportunity. Ultimate students, we have the power of passion and influence on our hands, just like them. Hope we all use the good for future. I know we will. At last, I found them.
I didn't know what to say. Power over passion. Influence change isn't as rosy as she chalks it up to be. The only thing that let my talent ever got me was trap. I used to golf all the time. My grandfather, before he passed away, I was sick by some company who would take care of me. 3 squared meals and a comfortable place to live. I always played perfect games. Perfect but boring. Day in and day out. It was just the same thing. I thought I was there to show my skill, but every game it was just an outside business conversation. Eventually I honked my skill up enough to hit a hole-in-one no matter what I played. Short games, no one would care to watch. But I aced it, and they loved it. I whipped and they ate it up. At that point, they didn't care what I did. Using my talent for the good of the future. What about my future? I didn't want to stay with that group for the rest of my life. I thought escaping to the preservation project would have finally freed me from that imprisonment. But everything's all messed up. When Pandora closed her eyes, I felt a burning. Shit, she found them. Who was she talking about? It was obvious, right? I didn't know what to say. I just looked at the note she gave me in the pool and I wanted to go away. Then everything happened in slow motion. It was like my body had moved on its own. My head was ringing. My hands narrowed on the towel's shoulders. Then everything was red. It was like there was a fire in my head. When I heard her gasp, my arms were tense. And eventually, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Lyle. I was just trying to have fun with you earlier. My good-for-nothing talent made me despise golf. I never had fun with it since people discovered they could use me for business deals. Running around with you, figuring out big puzzles, that was the most genuine fun I've had in a while. Thanks, Lyle! No way. This isn't real. You're just part of the fake game, right? You didn't kill anyone. You're an actor. Tell me you're an actor and that the whole story was a fake. Art, tell me this isn't real. It was miserable. Like all of us, Lyle was struggling to come up to terms with the fact that Art, of all people... Lyle?
Is that the truth? You have a shred of evidence to go with the confession? I don't know if I can point a culprit based on such little proof. Missy, you want to keep discussing after his pitiful confession? I'm able to have my doubts, am I not? I can't accept it. I'm sure the rest of you are having trouble the same. Doubting is the only thing keeping me from fully recognizing the weight of a lofty impression to swallow truth. If I can doubt it, I can still cling to the ability of Art not committing such a horrible crime.
Missy, you're deluding yourself with false hope. Just like unfortunately misguiding Lyle. Such thinking, it's unconsubstantial. There's no need for doubt.
Cannon?
I have definitive proof. Cannon? It was small, but it was unmistakable. Art seated at the base of the auditorium center globe with his head on his hands. The photo looked like to be a shot from the floor entryway. That means the shadowy figure I saw was... That was me, following Art as he fled from the spa lounge. Huh? I was in the foyer, remember? So when I saw Art emerge from the spa lounge, I went to tail him, following him as he entered the auditorium. Then I heard you shout for help, and I did about face. Little did I know I would stumble upon the very thing he was running from. What the heck is this? Cannon sure is a weird photographer. Sal, does that settle your doubt, Missy? But why would he want such damning evidence? You think I want his blood on my hands? If I presented this photograph, we all know for the cult was certain thanks to me. Because I'm always unlucky enough to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. I don't want to bear that weight on my consciousness. I know it's selfish, but take it or leave it.
Then, I suppose it's settled. We can agree on this unquestionable truth. There's no room for doubt.
It seems like you've all came to conscious. That's it. It's voting time. This is the final phase of Glass Trial. Vote for who you think the culprit is. After all that jabbling, you better have a solid answer. Don't let any subtle doubt or faith keep you from saving yourself. It's voting time! Oh wait, can I actually vote? Oh, I can only vote Art. Oh. I don't wanna. Oh, it's a casino. Of course it is. And we have a winner! The culprit responsible for the murder of Pandora Spray is none other than the ultimate golfer, RTO Combat Piano. If that took long enough, let's try to do better next time. But for now, it's time for the grand final. You've reached your exciting destination at the end of your first trial. But that destination being punishment time! Oh. Oh no.
Punishment time?
Well, yeah. Eye for an eye, right? He was caught. Too bad. Recap Rule 5. To exped the process towards the ultimate prize, one must kill a fellow student without getting caught. Oh, but what happens when they do get caught? Recap trial rules determine and vote correctly, the culprit alone will receive the proper retribution and perish at the hands of a fellow's group decision. It's bizarre. If it weren't for Echo's conveniently specific memory, Cannon's tribute luck pulling her to the witness him, Art might have gotten away. Do you have anything to say for yourself, Arturo Capande? This is what the Preservation Project wanted, isn't it? To kill and live on, to prove your strength above other ultimates. What? You think you're gonna live on? Whoops. Clearly don't know about the emotional constitution to care people's futures. What? No. You let your fears and anxiety eat you until you broke. Stop. Why? I'm shocked Pandora didn't live. Please. She lost you a week. Vulnerable. Pathetic. I couldn't bear to hear it anymore. That slivery voice rose from somewhere in the room. That voice, it was the other announcement. The voice welcomed us to this place was here. Zero. Stop this at once. Oh, you. I believe I got rid of you, but you still came back. So weird. Ah, see what? There, Eve? These students revealed the culprit was not fully statistic entertaining enough for you. Yeah, sure did their thing, but geez, it took a while. Alright, fine. His face was so rich with despair, I couldn't help but it was fun. You too, right? Stop this. Fine. I'll get on with it. Goodbye, Arturo, the ultimate golfer. Your execution will wait, and so it goes. Zero hologram warped out, a huge rumbling soared through the room. Something was coming. Oh. The courtroom fumbled beneath us. One of the trial grounds walls slid open, revealing a dark pit beyond the walls. From within, a golf cart came shaking out, drifting and accelerating out stands, separately behind Art. Mechanizing arms swept off his feet, pulling him into the cart. He had at least stopped for a second before peeling back the darkness that it came from. Art can't sequestering from us. All of us would continue to watch in horror as his fate was projected on a screen in the middle of the trial grounds. Art was tossing up only what appeared to be a sand bunker in the middle of a giant miniature golf court. In a daze, he rose coughing up sand, meeting the gaze of Gazer drove. The bear twitched. Its metal body groaned aimlessly, shook to life. A swing tunneled through the air. Art grasped. Oh, we don't even get a video? Arkman Ultimate. Oh, no, we do. No, we don't. What? Phew, that was worth the wait, I think. And it's funny. He hated golf. The little did he know, all his business deals he sat on, those deals would be the ones that brought the funding for the preservation project. Very thing he wanted to escape to. He thought he could fly away, but it turns out his influence was unescapable. Life sure is cruel, isn't it? It was horrifying. A disgusting display, mocking Art's ultimate title, ended his life. He hated his talent. In his last memories, it was all he saw. We stood completely and utterly shocked. No one said a word. We all stood completely and utterly shocked. A muscle. An unmakeable shaking feeling froze us over. Fair. In return for entertaining me, how about I answer that question that's been drilling into your mind? Where are we? This isn't the preservation project at all, is it? Oh, no. I said one question only. Our beloved courtroom resided by the Monokuma sphere. Remember this earthquake? Those aren't going to bother us thanks to civil engineering. Those wonders of modern technology never cease, huh? So cool. I hope that satisfied your curiosity. It most certainly did not, you cad. Zero. You are reaper of despair. Whatever you do ends to fully provide no benefit to anyone. No benefit to anyone except you and you horrible Sidos. You do not think for a moment. You've won. I will continue to fight back, even after what you've done to me. Sliver of light remains. Echo pines. Huh? You've received the title of Ultimate Memory. Memory? What is that? We have a photographer and silly puzzles? Good memory for their skills is already required, wouldn't you think? I wouldn't even humor you with this one. Talent isn't even corrupt with remote ultimate analytics. Powerless, like that one pathetic girl. Come on, you've really given up trying, haven't you? It's no fun having any competition. Fine. Think you wouldn't be giving these people hope? NP6, your queen is trouble. I have a little information neither you nor the students would like. Cyrus Silk is someone to be wary of. What? He isn't who he says he is. He's not a normal ultimate student like you. He's much more involved in the game than you think. Ultimate charisma is a terrible cover talent. Y'all truly cruelly if you believe that. Zero, stop. You mellowed enough. What, and you haven't? I've been given the power for a reason, you know, and I'm going to use it as I please. This isn't the answer. Whatever, courtroom closed. Losers can meditate and despair for a night. By tomorrow, we'll get going again. Zero. Shut up. I'm tired of you poor, useless attempts at creating hope. You will never win. You're a failure. With an odd display, those two holograms cut out. What just happened? I was on the verge of tears. My whole body shook violently. There was a weight at the bottom of my heart, dragged my whole body down. I felt like my head was going to split. becoming trapped in a strange luxury mission where he seemingly didn't belong, stuck in a group of reserves with so-called ultimate talent, getting involved in a class trial where we had to investigate someone killed by sign. Conclusion with a gruesome execution as if everyone else wasn't enough. Why was this happening? I want to go to bed for a long, long time. Before I knew it, my limp body dove to the floor as I kneeled over. My heavy eyes closed wearily as I allowed myself to sink into the velvety darkness. 8 students remain. And that, my friends, is where we're leaving this off. That was our conclusive trial. We've just played the entire trial and that execution. I like that so much. I'm upset we didn't get a video. That's kind of sad. However, I really liked the way they're going with it. I really don't have words to say. I'm kind of upset Art got killed. Well, killed first. Because he was one of my favorites. And he was hanging out with Lyle, another one of my favorites. Well, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you all for watching. Peace.